Near the bridge between New Jersey and Pennsylvania, Trenton and Morrisville. Lovely areas, lovely towns. And I just wanted to touch base on some new photos that are undeniably concerning if you are at all someone who cares about the stability and the health of our leadership in this country, whether you disagree or agree with specific policies in general. You should always wish everyone health because that's what allows for a stable economy, no whipsawing impacts on people's 401ks, and then, just concern for another human being, right? At the end of the day, we're all humans. Why wish anything but positive health towards another human being, right? In this case, our commander in chief, President Donald Trump. And one of the things that we've been noticing is these markings on his hands. For several weeks, most of his appearances in public have revolved around him using makeup on the hands, and apparently, in some sleight of hand, no, not sleight of hand, but basically in some misstep from a cosmetic and media prep point of view, seems like that wasn't able to be executed. And ultimately, you could see some serious markings, which are the thumbnail for this live video. And what you basically have is some serious markings that indicate that people with heart conditions tend to have, right? So something about the inflammation and the actual blotting on the hands is just a sign of a heart that is having difficulty, and those markings represent problems in circulation, kind of like varicose veins, right? And yeah, so that's kind of the issue that we wanted to highlight in this live. And just notice that there's a photo, which is the one on the thumbnail for this live, circulating all over the internet. And the photo shows President Donald Trump's hands with some blue markings, kind of like bruising, which indicate circulation issues, right? And these circulation issues are associated. Sorry, I had to just walking outdoors. Apologies. Um, those circulation issues are indicative of heart issues, heart palpitations, and heart circulation issues. And so it's definitely something that we want to keep an eye on. Additionally, two independent psychologists have been reviewing video of some of President Trump's appearances, and most notably, the video of him walking towards Vladimir Putin in the ceremonial red carpet welcome. Basically, in that scenario, Trump was unable to walk on a straight line. So it seemed like his knees and his right foot, or his left foot, sorry, would jerk to the right. And in other appearances, his hands, his shoulders jerk upwards. And these two neuropsychologists, the doctors who appeared in the Irish Examiner for an article on the topic of Trump's health, were basically saying, hey, look, that's indicative of cognitive decline. Any way you cut it, you have an issue with just being able to justify what his state of health is given these like very public appearances. And and to be fair, the same was true of now current president, former President Joe Biden. And it's the sort of thing that is concerning, right? Like if he can't walk in a straight line, it's unfortunate, because it shows that there's some cognitive decline there. And obviously you don't want that in the leadership of any country, let alone this country. And so something about these past two incidents, the markings, the inability to walk in a straight line to greet another world leader, right, to lead the leader of the second most powerful military in the world, it's definitely a thing to watch out for. So heart issues, dementia, and they were very specific. Basically, the motor functions, right, of walking and being unable to walk in a straight line are indicative of degeneration that is very global and widespread. So neurologically, they're alluding to a Donald Trump who isn't as agile anymore, who's having trouble basically being coherent in the public space, and that's not good for anyone. I think it becomes opaque who's actually in control, right? Much like the last administration of Reagan, um, the last few months of Biden, when it appeared like he just had memory issues, right? And none of these people are so cognitively impaired that they can't do anything. And with social media and their appearances, you have a sense that they are still very much in charge. But there are lulls, percentages of time where, hey man, someone else is running the show, and that's the one aspect that is difficult to wrap my mind around. But it could just as well be that, hey, he has these spasms and he's just, with aging, has some of the difficulties that anybody at that age range has, but still not the things you want to see. Obviously everyone wishes him well because that's the appropriate thing to do, and that's also a very important issue, right? The health of any leader in any country is always of top of mind for anyone who is investing, anyone who's hello, who anyone who's engaged with that country, right? It just wants stability, right? So at the end of the day, that's what I have to report on. People who are very concerned with this degenerative disease, mental disease, right? Basically dementia in the frontal lobes, and that could be a potential cause or explanation for his recent jerky movements and also his inability to walk in a straight line. So, hopefully Trump gets better. Hopefully Trump is able to pull it together in the sense that he's more physically in shape, or physically, or just he doesn't keep having these repeated issues. And the thing with his hands is the other thing I mentioned earlier. Um, so yeah, that's our live for today, and unfortunately, that's kind of the issue right now. Like the health of the commander in chief doesn't look as sharp. Obviously, with old age, you have a lot of things to be concerned about, and one of them is dementia, neurodegenerative diseases that basically erode the lining of nerve systems and don't allow for the proper um, communication between different parts of the brain and the body's extremities. So, unfortunately, we do see these indications with his inability to walk straight. And his appearance in Anchorage, Alaska, with Vladimir Putin was indicative of that. Hopefully, he gets better. Hopefully, that becomes less of a nuisance for him. And, the country remains on good footing. No pun intended. So that's the live for today. Chat with you guys later. Check out the icon pic. You'll see his hand with the bruising. That's very unfortunate and indicative of some heart issues.